everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I thought I'd do a quick video to explain why I have why I've changed my brand from T Asperger to Autism's individual. I felt that T Asperger was rather vague. It did really pertain to my specific and intense interest in food, hence the name T. But I was thinking it's better to have a channel that more corresponds to the message I want to get across to society, my key campaigning message, because I do a lot of awareness raising, and that's my kind of main passion and joy in life at the moment, is to try and raise awareness of autism, because I feel a real kind of sense of injustice really about my past and everything, and I just want to get the message out there and do something positive. So I changed the name to Autism's individual, and I've also got a blog as well. I write blog posts on WordPress.com, which again was T Asperger, but now it's Autism is individual at WordPress. So the reason why I think that this is a really, really important name for my channel is because no two autistic people are alike. We're all different. There is a popular saying, that once you've met one autistic person, you've quite literally only met one autistic person. I mean, it's so circular that you sort of feel, why do I need to say it? I mean, surely it's a given, isn't it? We're all individuals. But society has this tendency, don't ask me why, it's completely illogical and goes completely over my head. Society has this tendency to kind of think that everyone is the same. So with autism, for example, someone might read something in a textbook and then sort of think that every autistic person they meet is going to be like what they've read in a textbook, exactly the same, almost like clones. And we're not clones. None of us are clones. We're all different, aren't we? We all have our own personalities, our own backgrounds, our own different experiences, different interests, different genders, different whole range of variables that can shape how we turn out, and autism is no exception. I actually believe that no one can say that they truly understand autism. No one. Not even an expert who spent years upon years reading textbooks, going to conferences, meeting lots of different autistic people. Even someone like that cannot claim that they're truly an expert in autism or truly understand autism. Because to really understand autism, you'd have to do something that no human can possibly do. You'd have to literally speak to every single autistic person in the whole wide world. And even then you won't understand autism, because you'd have to go back in time and you'd have to speak to every single autistic person who's ever lived, and all the autistic people who are yet to come. Because autism never replicates itself. It's 100% unique. It's 100% idiosyncratic. All someone can say is that they maybe have a sort of very, very general understanding of what autism entails, a kind of roadmap, if you like, or sort of a very broad template about what autism entails. So someone can say, very broadly speaking, that every autistic person is going to struggle with social skills, okay? That is the sort of defining feature of autism, if you like. We're all going to struggle with social skills. We're all going to find it difficult to understand other people, and we're all going to feel rather adrift in the world because of this problem. And this sort of trait, if you like, that all autistic people have, to a very, often to a very profound extent, is going to manifest itself differently in each autistic person. So one autistic person, that trait, say, might manifest itself in that person having no desire at all to interact with anyone and being very, very aloof, say, in their own little world. And for another autistic person, that trait might manifest itself as actually a desire to interact with other people, but not knowing how to do it, and lots and lots of stress, because it's all, none of it is natural, and you're having to work all the time, all these unwritten rules everyone else takes for granted. One autistic person might not make eye contact. You might read in a textbook, people with autism struggle with making eye contact, but it would be wrong of you then to jump to the conclusion every single autistic person you meet is not going to look you in the eye. If you were to do that, you'd be treating autistic people as all the same, and we're not all the same. We're all different. One autistic person, yes, might not look you in the eye, but the next autistic person you meet might actually make too much eye contact because they're trying really, really hard to do what they feel is socially acceptable and to conform. Or there might not be any noticeable difference in eye contact, and you might think, well, they don't look like they've got a problem. But speak to the person, because actually that person still might have a problem. Even if it looks like they don't have a problem, they might actually still have a problem. Because what's really important is to understand what's going on inside the autistic person and not just focus on externals, which can be very, very misleading. So we're all different. So no one can say that they're an expert because there are thousands and thousands and thousands of different autisms. I call them autism islands that really exist in their own universe and are incomparable. So we need to also get rid of this whole idea that there's mild autism and severe autism and blah 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 blah, because those that's meaningless because those terms immediately imply comparison, and it's like you can't compare autism with another type of autism because you're dealing with individuals and each person is experiencing the world in an idiosyncratic individual way. So always speak to the individual and do not give them any of these, descriptors, if you like, without asking the individual first, because you might well be very, very surprised, because you might think that person is mild, because maybe they're not offending you, saying anything majorly inappropriate, they might be looking you in the eye, they might be doing all the things that you expect someone to do, so you might think, they're coping, what's their problem, they can speak really well, oh, they must be mild. But actually, that person might be under a huge amount of stress, day in, day out, dealing with the world, feeling really alienated, and that can be really, really difficult, and there might be nothing mild about their condition for them. Just because they're trying really, really hard and putting on a good front for society doesn't mean that they're mild. And just because they look different to Joe Bloggs that you met a moment ago, who was rocking, and not making any eye contact and behaving in a way that really drew attention to their condition, it doesn't mean that the person that you then meet who looks you in the eye is mild in comparison. It doesn't mean that, because they're two different individuals with very, very different challenges, and you cannot compare individuals, okay? So always start with the individual. That's key. I'm an individualist at heart. I do believe the individual is key, and I do think that society too often likes to put us into little pigeonholes and treat us as all the same, and we are not the same. That collectivist kind of oppressive mentality is really, it just leads to a whole array of different stereotypes, because stereotypes always come about from trying to forget the individual. We must never forget the individual. So that's why I've changed the name, in a nutshell, to Autism's Individual. So thank you for listening.